Good morning. It is, oh, I'm sorry, it's Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday. Let me see. Yes, Tuesday, April 11th. I wrote down Monday on my notes. I am in Houston. I am staring at a convention center. I'm staying at the Hilton Americas, which is a super, super nice hotel. If you're ever in Houston, parking is an absolute nightmare. The game is the women's Mexican national team taking on the Houston. It's not the Dynamos. The Dynamos are the men's team, but it's tonight at 7 p.m. I think it's on Univision, so I got to figure out a way to stream it. But there has been a ton of activity in the stock market this week. You've got two major key reports, which is inflation and unemployment. So that will greatly affect the market. On my screen, I've got SPY. I'll show you. We go over this. I went over this last week when I was still kind of at my home, but QQQ still greatly outpacing SPY, DJI, and IWM. I would not be in IWM. 40% of the small caps do not make money. That's a tough place to be. Dow Jones, you can see they're all just hovered down there. SPY is up at 7.56. QQQ greatly outweighing it. SQQQ has not exactly seen the movement that I thought it would. But if we look at SPY on the 65-minute, you're just getting into SPY. And it looks like it could take a leg up there. Again, the employment records and the inflation data is going to be key. SQQQ got you in 31.31, got you out. But if you were down here at 29 and you're up at 30, you probably got into about 31 or so. I don't think that you made 10%, but I think you did pretty well. And that was from Friday. I think it was Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. I said, hey, you probably should get SQQQ. But that's it. So there were a couple of big upgrades. One of them that has been taking off that I told you guys to get into down here at 465, at 485. I personally got in at 485. It's now at 516. UNH. Healthcare's taken off. We're going into a recession. Healthcare actually performs in healthcare. As far as banking goes, I continue to say Schwab. If you were one of the few that got in under 50, great job. If you're waiting for it, remember the CEO bought at 59. So this isn't one that I would necessarily trade. This is one that I would absolutely 100% buy. The buy is at 57 and it hasn't gotten you out yet. That's the crazy thing. 57 here on the 4-hour. And it hasn't gotten you out. They have earnings coming up April 14th. DPST, we talk about this one all the time. I would trade this on the 4-hour. You can see this wedge that's forming. It's just got this range. But DPST is the 3 times bull up here at 27. Oh, let's renew it. Hold on one second. Just got to renew the chart for the YouTube folks. And I'm probably doing it. But here, 890. 890 was the buy-in, and you're still in that one. And it's trading right now at 719, so it hasn't necessarily got you out. The kind of divergence here is that the stock is actually going down, but the MACD is going up. It's not a great bullish strategy. I still think that there's a chance that you get up here to the $11 range in this gap. So there's your banks. The other ones that we look at, I mean, Bank of America, I'm in Bank of America. Let's see, it's in our core portfolio. So Bank of America, BAC, it's at 28, it's up 0.32. One of the banks that got an upgrade today is NYCB, New York Bank. Let's pull up this one, New York Community Bank. This one got an upgrade. It is up 1.2% at $8.95. It got upgraded with a price target of $11. I think it was Jeffries, if I'm remembering right. Upgrade Jeffries, hold to buy with an $11 price target. That one is trading at $8.95. So if you think Jeffries is right, go and check it out on FinViz. Look at some of this. The average price target is $11. It's got a P of 6.9, a dividend of 7.7. So NYCB, go and check that one out. That one got upgraded, and that's why it caught my attention. Yesterday, KOLD, crazy downward move. KOLD, you're still a buy, but remember, we see this button hook in the 4-hour. Boyle was the buy-in. And I don't want to say Boyle is the buy-in for the long term. Use the 65-minute algorithm for this one. This one, Boyle, you're in here at 372, and it still got you in. You got gaps all the way above this one. In fact, let me get out of this. Let me shrink this down, collapse the indicator list. But yeah, Boyle, I think a couple of people texted me that they got into Boyle. It was a great buy. You're seeing a button hook. I still think it's a $2 stock. So trade carefully when you're trading Boyle and KOLD. Some of you guys had texted me about the big news yesterday that Exxon may be buying or in talks to buy PXD. I had bought PXD at 208 right before the dividend, right about here. And I got the dividend, dipped down to 193. If you got in on the 4 hour at 193, you're doing really, really well. Is it too late to get into PXD? I posted this in the Facebook group. I posted this on Twitter. It is not. Here is the 65-minute algorithm. And the 65-minute algorithm right here, 220, 223.28. And you're trading at 220. I think 220 is probably your floor. If you're expecting PXD to actually go up 60% like it did last year, you're sadly mistaken. It's not. Traded on the 4 hour. I particularly am holding this one for long term. I am sitting in this one at 208. I will probably be adding mine if it dips under 220. Oil is expected to rise. There was some talk about oil this morning that I heard. You can see the crude oil 79.81. I think the Saudis and OPEC want to keep it at 80. China demand, OPEC cuts. OPEC cut production, by the way, because of the pending U.S. recession. They don't want oil going down, and in a recession, oil goes down. So OPEC proactively cut that so that they could essentially keep it around 80. Berkshire, there was news, and Buffett will be interviewed on CNBC tomorrow from Japan. He bought into 5 major Japanese trading houses. You might hear that on the news. They're basically brokerage houses. So it's like him buying JP Morgan. It's him like buying, not Bank of America, but it's more Schwab, Fidelity, things of that sort. And that he bought into 5 of them, and he increased his stuff. So do not trade in those Japanese stocks unless you know what you're doing. You will incur fees. Just buy Berkshire, 100%. Just buy Berkshire. He knows what he's doing. He'll make money. I think he's already up like 10, 15% on those things. You know that he got out of Taiwan Semi. I still have Taiwan Semi in the core portfolio. This is one that has dipped down. It is touching the 200-day on the 4 hour. You got out with a 0.67% gain right there, but you're hitting right about 86. I think this gap that you see right back here at 81 for Taiwan Semi probably gets touched. I wouldn't assume that the 200-day provides support here. If it doesn't, we start to go up, you may be able to get it for a little pop. But I think there might be better opportunities out there. But Taiwan Semi was a Berkshire buy, so that's kind of what brought it up. Tesla is one that is in our core portfolio. They reduce prices. There are 2 reasons they reduce prices. The first is they probably want to qualify for some additional tax incentives that the government is doing, the $7,500. You guys may read about that. The second is they may be actually pricing out competitors. And so what they might be doing is lowering their prices on the 3 and the Y in order to force Ford and GM, who do not have the production benefit of having an in-house battery supplier, of having robots build the cars, of having no union costs, higher labor costs increase the cost of the car. So the key point for Tesla is going to be keeping a 20% margin. If they keep a 20% margin, we're all good. And more than likely, you're going up to this 256 to 260 gap. If they don't keep that 20% margin, and their earnings are coming up April 19th. They did deliver. They met or beat some expectations. It was kind of a kind of report on their last monthly deliveries. But if they don't meet the 20%, you're looking at this gap down here about 150. So I haven't pulled the trigger. You're in this trading range. It's an ascending wedge. It is using the 200-day. You can clearly see it's using it as support right now. So I want to make sure that you guys know I personally have not gotten in there. I am looking to add to my or create a new position in Tesla. I have not traded it. I have not gotten into it. Bitcoin is up over 30,000 for the first time in a long time. Ironically, GBTC got a secondary cross up. If you're in here at 11, you're at 17 on GBTC. The 11 was just March 7th. So it was a month ago that this got to, the algorithm got you in here. But you're all the way up at 17. Great trade. You've almost doubled your money. GBTC is a great way to play it. You're really playing kind of a ETF there. Personally, I think Mara and I think Riot are better. 854 you're in for Mara. In pre-market, you're up 3% to $9.43. I think this is a $15 stock. I have not traded it. I got in and out of it a bunch of times. I currently don't own it. I am not trading when I'm on the road. But Riot here, the algorithm got you in about $6.05, and you're up at $10.59. In pre-market, it's $11.03. So if I were playing crypto, there's three ones that I would do: GBTC, Mara, and Riot. Mara and Riot are more, hey, they're miners, so they don't fluctuate as much. But I think there's value in that. Where crypto goes up, they actually go up in value. One that's in the core portfolio that is in the news is Moderna, and not in a good way. They're down 3% to 154. I think if it gets under 150, I think you can buy it. The algorithm has you buy in at 152.55. You can see there's a gap up here to 170. This is a hype rally. They are delaying their flu vaccine. It may be an opportunity to get into this one. Honest to God, I like Moderna. I like trading Moderna. I don't like holding Moderna. If you want to use the 4-hour, if you want to use the 60-minute, the 4-hour algorithm over 2 years, it loses you 7%, but Moderna only makes you 3%. So if you can trade and find the right spots in, you could probably make some money by buying and holding. I just think that you're not going to make a lot of money because this one fluctuates so much. It's a 100% better trade. So that's my news. Let's go over some scans. First scan is Cleveland Cliffs, and I own this one at about 20. You can see it's got this double bottom, and the double bottom's happening right about 17. In pre-market, you're at 18.13. I think anywhere in the 17 handle is a great buy. I think anything in the 18 handle is probably an okay buy, but I would 100% trade this one. I would trade it. I am not looking to hold this one. I'm in at 20. I am contemplating long-term, so I probably will dollar cost average into this, but I will, if this gets to $30, I am absolutely getting out. Cleveland Cliffs. Now, levered ETFs, UMDD, which is an ultra mid 400. So it's a triple levered mid 400. 1770 is the 4-hour algorithm. I would probably trade this on the 65-minute, but I do all my scans on the 4-hour. It's a mid cap. This is a triple levered ETF. Another triple levered ETF that got a cross up, SPXU. This is the short of the S&P 500. So the assumption is that the S&P 500 will go down and this stock will go up. So SPXU 1360 is the cross up. Remember, these are decaying assets, so you want to trade them. You don't want to hold these one for long term. The next one, that triple levered ETF that had a cross up, is SDS. This is another ultra short S&P 500. 39.98. Not shocking that both of them, they both track about the same. So SPXU and SDS are the same thing. Vanguard, VBK, Vanguard small cap growth. I don't know that I'd be super excited about this one, but VBK, if you're interested in getting in long term, I don't suggest trading these. You're never going to make a lot of money on this one. Your average win is 3.64% on this. You lose 6% over a 2-year period versus losing 25%. with actually buying and holding the asset over a 2-year period. We talked about GBTC. This is a secondary cross up. The cross up actually happened back here on March 7th at $11.70. You're getting some really good volume up here in the $15 to $17 range. So GBTC, I probably wouldn't hold it. I've held this one. I just don't like holding it. DocuSign, which I absolutely love the company, hate the stock. 56.78. Why do I hate the stock? Let's go over to FinViz and let's look. DocuSign, they're not making money, but their forward PE is 21.32. They will make money. It's just expensive. For every sale that they make, they're spending $4. Your average price target is 68. This is a $56 stock. Over 1 year, you're down 44%. Year to date, you're up 2.54. So take a look at it. March 10th, they got a downgrade from JP Morgan. Price target was moved from 58 to 48. You can see there's some sales. There's not a huge amount since January of this. Daniel Springer, who's a director, sold somewhere in the neighborhood of $25 million worth. But it's kind of a pool in his $100 million home. So DocuSign is one that I like. Mara, we talked about Mara. Mara has a cross up. It's a secondary cross up. 854 was the actual price. You can see the MACD kind of crossing up here again. Might be due for another rally. Again, Bitcoin over 30,000. If it can hold that, I think it's a good one. The trading desk. I talk about this one a lot. I like this stock. 58.30. It's got a secondary cross up. Looks like it may be going for another run. They have earnings coming up on May 9th. The reason why I'm hesitant about this one is the PE. The PE is 654. That's just crazy. Year to date, you're up 37%. The average price target is 68. You're trading at 61. So I'm not sure that the upside is there. But if you got down here in January in the 40s, you're doing really well. Look here. In February, it got up to the $68 range. So I think this one's a good one, but just realize it is super expensive, and any move will shoot that one down. This is an interesting one. It's an ETF for basically marijuana, but MJ is it. It's been in just this descending wedge. I don't know that it's necessarily got to go up, but 335 is the cross up. This is one that I personally watch on my own watch list. So MJ is the ETF. Another one that has to do with crypto that seems to be putting in this bottom right here at about 57 is Coinbase. I'm not a huge fan of Coinbase. I think you can absolutely 100% trade it on hype. It's got a cross up here at 66.14. We talked about Tesla lowering their price. GM just had a cross up, 35.74. I'm not a huge fan of GM. I don't think they're going to do anything that is great with EVs. I don't like their cars. I don't like their production. I just don't like the company. They've been bailed out of bankruptcy so many times. It's just a poorly run company. As simple as that. But they did have a cross up. If you think that GM is going to overtake Tesla, this might be one that you want to get into. I personally would bet on Tesla before GM. Another cross up that's a secondary cross up, Nike. I think we're heading back down to the 100 on Nike. But if you wear Nike clothes, this might be one for you to look into. So real quick podcast today. I will upload it as a video. I want to thank you guys. Remember, there's 3 sponsors. The first one is Visible. If you're paying anything more than $30 per month for your phone service, unlimited phone service, there's a link down below. Click on that, save $20 off your first month. I think they're still running a $25, a $5 new promotion. So your first month is $5. Get an eSIM. If you don't have a phone that has an eSIM, find out what it is, or go get a SIM card from like Best Buy for Visible. And you can basically sign up with the link and the code down below. You'll save $20 off your first month. It is unlimited services. I work in stadiums all the time. I was in airports traveling. I am sitting next to people that have Verizon. I'm getting typically the same or better service. It's crazy. I just don't think that they limit it effectively. And I'm not on the higher tier. If you're on the higher tier, you're actually not rate limited. If you're on the lower tier, you are on rate limited. Um, Second sponsor is Trendspider. If you like these charts, if you like my algorithm, I can share everything with you now. It is super, super simple. All I have to do is confirm that your email address is connected. Go sign up in the link below. Use DSP25 for the 25% off. The Easter sale that just happened, it was 50% off. You can use that. Just send me your email address. I'll send you everything over. It is not a problem. It is super, super simple. Trendspider, best charting platform around. If you're trading anything, I would say the cutoff for Trendspider would be like a $5,000 to $6,000 account. If you're trading regularly on that amount of money, I think the investment is 100% worth it. Uh, the good traders get the tools, and you can find some of these tools for free. What Trendspider allows me to do is look at the gaps, look at the entry points, look at the exit points, and I can set up alerts. I can set up texts. Say I'm trading Boyle on the 65-minute algorithm, and I want to know when to get out. Well, it'll text me the candle that it actually gets out on. So I love Trendspider. Third is the company that brings me here to Houston, ID shop. If you have printing needs, if you have promotional needs, if your company does security, remember I do badges. I don't have my badge here. I think I left it in the car. But if your company does badges like swipe in the RFID stuff, contact ID shop. They've got all the tools that you need. They've got the sales, the service. It is the greatest company that I work for. I love it. I have no ownership in it. They pay me as a contractor. I am literally sitting in a ticket booth half the time for MLS, but they've got all the sporting stuff. They do conventions. So even your backdoor kind of RFID, if you need things to synced in with ADP with time clocks and stuff like that, they have everything that you need. So just contact them either through email. It's at idshop.com, idshop.com. So that is the entire podcast. Again, thank you guys. If you want to tip me because you made a bunch of money, hopefully you got in on Schwab under $50. And if you got out and you got your 10%, just tip me like a bartender. But all the links are down below. There is a link tree. There is a link to every social platform that I'm on: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever you want. It's all down there. Just click on the link tree and you'll see everything that you need. And join the private Facebook group. Remember, the host of the daily podcast show is Bozo. So if you have any questions, hit me up. Thanks, you guys. I'm uploading this now. Take care.